Participating in the convocation of the university, the chairman of the University Grants Commission said, I am very happy to be amongst you all this morning. It is unfortunate that the Chancellor could not be present on this occasion due to ill health. I see before me students who have graduated from this university and who have full of dreams about their future career. I have no hesitation in wishing them good luck and bright prospects in the years to come. It has been my endeavor to associate myself with the young and talented people who, I am sure, are full of energy to serve the motherland with dedication. The noble profession of teaching is being given its due respect by both the parents as well as the government. I have had the opportunity of going round your university yesterday along with the Vice Chancellor. During the course of discussions with the students and the staff of your university, I have been presented with a list of requirements which, as a chairman of the University Grants Commission, I am bound to answer and fulfill. One of the most important requests was the sanction of funds for construction of buildings and purchase of modern equipments. But I would like to impress upon that buildings and equipments are not the only answer for setting high standards of education. They are very necessary in so far as there is a true exchange of information and the staff are much dedicated. I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that a good teacher requires tools which will help him convey his thoughts in a more meaningful manner to the student to understand. If every university wishes to arm itself with buildings and equipment of its own, there will be lot of wastage of resources. In view of this, it is proposed to connect the various institutions throughout the country so that the resources are put to maximum possible use. I am glad that the first step in this direction has been taken in connecting the various libraries in all the universities. It does not only facilitate everyone to access information available at various centers, but will also enable him to know the latest changes brought out by the science and technology. In the second place, I would like to mention that with the establishment of the national body for assessing the status of every university with regard to the academic performance, facilitates for research and so on, there is competition amongst all the educational institutions to view for honors. It will not only create a healthy competition among them, but also give an opportunity to get financial assistance for the right cause. I am told by the Vice Chancellor of your university that very soon the representatives of the body would be visiting the premises for the purpose of according the status. I hope and trust that the status and standing accorded to your university will help in achieving further academic excellence. The above body also takes into account the continuous education programs for the teaching staff in the universities. In order to achieve this, the universities are advised to conduct short term courses in various subjects for the professors and other staff. The idea behind this program is only to make the staff aware of the latest knowledge available as well as to provide the much needed relief from the regular work. I am sure that this step of the government will be appreciated. It is a well known fact that a good teacher who will be keen to refresh himself will further improve his subject. Sir, in a democratic country like India, the people are governed by a few people who are, we may call them as people's representatives elected by a process. It is the duty of these representatives to project the difficulties of the people so that the government, either at the center or the state, would formulate suitable solutions. It is a fact that during the current year, there has been very low rainfall all over the state except a few districts. Many of the farmers have suffered due to this exceptional behavior of the rains. In the all party meeting, it was decided to give this matter sufficient time so that there would be discussion over the issue and the efforts of the government in tackling the issue were not wasted. Surprisingly, when this issue was raised in the assembly, the members either of the ruling party or the opposition were on their feet, strongly arguing with each other. By such meaningless acts, the members bring disrepute not only to themselves but also to the people who have elected them and given the power. Had there been a fruitful discussion, there would have been certainly positive and constructive suggestions which would benefit the farming community to whatever party they might belong in this hour of distress. I would appeal to all the political parties to bestow their best attention only to the common problems and not on political issues. Gopal, Hyderabad.